Put on your running shoes, put on your Birkenstocks. It is time for the walk-on, coming to you for the Props Network TPN. If you're one of the cool kids, it's me, Joel Walkowski, 6'3", Virgo, power forward, power bottom, whatever you want, coming to you with gambling, sports, analysis, all that. Joining me in this new project, he will always be here. My favorite man in the booth, the techie trekkie himself, Brian Allen Mitchell.
Hello. We almost missed Star Trek Day yesterday, so I'm still living it up, baby!
Yeah, did you celebrate Star Trek Day?
That's what you do. You watch First Contact and keep on going.
Yeah, First Contact, that's the one that goes in my right eye. I don't know too much about that, but yeah, we've certainly found a way to alienate anyone watching this right from the jump. I said I was a power bottom. You like Star Trek? We're sorry. Truth be told, I'm a bit of a degenerate. If you know me, thanks for watching, checking me out, following me here. You might know me from Fan Therapy, The Professional Gambler. And over the years, I've made a lot of content and I've lost a lot of money doing some sports stuff. So we are here at the Props Network and we're going to do it right this time. Right, Brian?
Oh, yeah. We're going to do it right and all night.
Yeah, we're both big gamblers, right?
Oh, no.
You've never placed a bet?
No, sir. God doesn't like sinning like that, okay?
Have you bought a stock or anything like that?
Why would he buy stocks? That's the world's money. That's not God's money.
Okay, you haven't gambled. You haven't bought a stock. Have you at least, heard a train coming, then laid down on the tracks with your eyes closed?
Well, if it's a Saturday and I have a little kombucha, yeah.
Kombucha, the official drink of anything you tape in Bushwick, New York. This is the only way we get our tax incentive.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, we get 42% off just because I'm not legally allowed to drive a car.
Oh, that's fair. Yeah. Things happen, you know?
So yeah, we're fine, and I've been big NBA playoffs, NFL season here. Anyone who's been following on the Props Network, they know I put out my season-long lines. I'm big on Drew Lock. I'm big on your Browns.
Yes, Baker, take us to the promised land.
If he's the starting quarterback, right?
Don't you dare.
You're the one who told me. You said Keenum might be getting the job.
I was just messing around. I was trying to put that negative stuff out of my head so I can have Baker full, okay? Baker full day. That's what I want.
See, that's the hard part, guys. If you're high on the Browns, you cultivate these opinions, you put these takes into the take machine, then you talk to a Browns fan, and it all goes to hell.
You don't listen to Joel, okay? When it comes to the Browns, you talk to me, okay? That's it.
Yeah, I handle 30 seconds of the NFL coverage. That other fraction, that belongs to you.
Thank you.
You cover the NFL the way I'm Native American on my college applications. 1/32, baby. And if that's the fraction, it implies something bad happened to your forefathers.
Did the college ever say, "Hey, you're in"?
You know what? I'm myself on this show, and I know we wrote some stuff out. I am a graduate student. I'm getting an MBA and a master's in finance, so I'm not just a numbers guy on the pod, on the social clips. I'm a numbers guy in real life. Woke up, did my accounting homework for 5 hours.
I do my accounting in real. I don't want an accountant that sounds grisly.
You need to catch up on your Ben Affleck films, all right? First and foremost. That was a very disheartening moment. An ex-girlfriend said, I saw a movie that reminded me of you, and it was The Accountant, and it was about an autistic accountant. And, 5 years later, here I am in grad school.
Well, look at that. I think another great Affleck movie is Paycheck.
And that's what we're out here to get every NFL Sunday.
Bing, give me that dollar.
We're going to cap it off. I've got the picks. I've put them into the highest resources. So I think we're going to make at least $125 this season.
Okay.
Just to lay it out there. There are bad things that happen in this life. We've all lived through a lot of bad things in the past 7 months. But this is a bubble. This is a positivity zone. Only good things that can happen in this basement that clearly only bad things have happened in.
Hey, positive bubble. Okay, have that mindset. Positive bubble.
Positive bubble. So
There it
we're
is.
coming into this season and we're slightly down.
Sure.
Just a couple thousand.
That's a lot.
You know what? I had a bad day. We've all had bad days.
You can't just have a bad day and just drop a multiple thousands.
Well, I mean, the gambling was the best part of it, honestly.
Yeah, it gets the blood
First
going.
day of the NBA playoffs, I'm stoked. I'm going to play basketball with one of my guests who's joining me later.
Right.
And I'm excited. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to multiply my wad. I've hit every bet through the bubble. I'm going to throw it out on this great team, the Milwaukee Bucks. They're going to torch the Magic, down their best 4 players.
Ooh.
Didn't happen.
No.
And then what happened next was we're both from the comedy world.
Yeah.
I was on hold for that fucking sound panel fell. The first bet we should make is over under on the amount of sound panels that are going to fall during the show.
Let's go. What's your over under?
I think 3.5. We just hit 2. I think we will get there.
Okay, 3.5. Got it.
Okay, so back to my terrible story.
Yep.
So I am here. I'm losing this bet.
Mm-hmm.
I'm on hold for a commercial that will make my year.
Yeah.
I don't want to
Ooh.
say the company, but they're
Yeah.
a real progressive company. It would have added a lot of cash flow to my bank account.
Well, I think you nailed it, right? Yeah.
Yeah, so after that game, I find out I lose the ad.
Ooh.
And then I'm like, you know what? I'm getting all this money back. I'm going on the Lakers. Game 1 against the Blazers. Anthony Davis swept this team.
Oh no.
And, we took a hit.
Yeah.
In probably 6 hours, $25,000 swing. And saying this on the podcast makes me so glad my fiance doesn't listen.
Wow.
Gabby, if you're watching, we're just hamming it up for the cameras. I certainly didn't make my good friend Donnie Sissa Singh Stack lose the same amount. Donnie, if you're watching, I wasn't making fun of you. That was just a buffering issue.
So you're telling me that collectively we lost $5,000?
No, I mean with the commercial's probably 20 grand and
Ooh, 20 grand?
yeah. And I don't view gambling as losing money. There's a good man who is my bookie, and I bought his son a laptop.
Was it a good laptop?
I hope so. It better be a couple good laptops, to be honest with you. I don't know if more gear went towards his son or our studio here.
Well, hey, you got to do what you got to do. I know that.
But I think you should place a bet today for the show. In my picks, will you place a bet?
I have to pray first, then yeah, I'll do it.
Okay, we'll find a God for you to pray to, then we'll do it.
Okay, sounds good. I know I have a God, so you don't have to find one. It's not. Oh, you can't Google it. I have it. Okay.
Yeah, I have a God too. His name is Matthew Stafford. He's got a beautiful wife with a beautiful brain and 4 beautiful children, and we know the NFL will be fixing the season for them this season.
Yeah, it is a false God. So
Yeah, well, they told the world about a false positive, so they're going to make it up to us for that.
ouch, ouchie, sir, ouchie, sir.
Yeah, if there was one plague worse than playing for the Lions at quarterback, it's COVID, and the NFL told the world, you know what, he's got both the plagues.
That's so rough, but it's true. I honestly think I think Ford Field is a running back nightmare.
Yeah, absolutely. It's Barry Sanders' ghost. We've picked so many. I know people are excited about Adrian Peterson coming to the Lions.
Of course.
And it's we just spent 2 second-round picks on running backs. Can one of those guys play? Can the top prospects that their positions maybe be given precedence over 35-year-olds?
They don't see it. It's one of those, you got that short camp. You don't, not even really a camp. So hey, let's go with someone that can get us 3 good games. That's what you're paying. You're paying $1 million for 30 attempts, pretty much.
Yeah, so we start with 2 divisional games. We've got the Bears, and we've got another team from Wisconsin. And I can see why you would want to make a switch at the position, so you get Adrian Peterson.
You get those 2. You get those 2 division wins, and then you let your rookies find their way.
Beautiful. Well, speaking of finding their way, I think we're doing a good job. And let's go right into this ad read, baby. So Are you located in a state with legal online sports betting? I hope so. Don't make a bet this season before you visit thepropsnetwork.com. Thepropsnetwork.com has you covered with free bets and bonus deals from all the top U.S. online sportsbook. Get $30 free bets, no deposit from Unibet. Get a 100% first deposit match from BetMGM, which is, as of today, the official sportsbook of the Detroit Lions, a.k.a. the Motor City Kitties. Bet the over, 7 wins. And they'll match you up to $500. Or you could try PointsBet Sportsbook with 4 risk-free bets totaling up to $1,000. Props Network, we're also the only online sportsbook portal with live NFL and NBA odds for every game, so you can shop the comps and know what you're getting, the biggest payout possible before you lock it in. So, do your bankroll a favor and check out thepropsnetwork.com today. You must be 21 or older to bet online. If you're not, you can just contact me. I'll take your action. And if you know someone with a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER today, which we should acquire that phone number. That's the best thing for the show. We get 1-800-GAMBLER, we get those guys, we give them the picks, then we hook them.
I don't think you could just take that number.
It's not about Twitch streams, dog. It's about revenue streams. I'm pitching you another one. You got to go with it.
But I'm going to feel bad when someone calls and says, "Oh, they have a gambling problem."
Well, Brian, pick up the phone. I do not have a gambling problem. I got gambling solutions, and let's get into them. It's NBA playoff season.
Right.
So let's bring on our first guest. I want to have some hang time with Yang time. He was a great Warriors fan back when the Warriors had no fans at all.
Yeah, I think he's one of the realest.
Yeah, please.
Golden State.
Yeah, the realest Golden State, realer than Draymond. Please welcome the captain of the Monta Ellis fan club, Dan Yang.
Yay!
How do we do entries here?
Yeah.
I actually just ordered a Monta Ellis jersey from a guy in New Zealand.
Oh, let's go.
And it didn't arrive the first time, and I tried to get eBay involved, and they wouldn't get involved. And I am such a fan of Monta Ellis, I ordered it again. So I'm paying double, and hopefully it comes this time. We'll see.
You're going to get 2. You can make a half and half jersey like you're his mom.
Exactly. Half Monte, half Monte. What's not to love?
Half Bucks, half Warriors. Either way, you're almost building a dynasty.
That's how you start building a dynasty. Is you get Monta Ellis twice, and you're good to go.
That's what the Cavs did. They got Mike Brown, fired him, brought him back. What did we do? He still got fired. But we got Ty Lue, and we got a championship.
There you go.
Ty Lue, is he probably the worst coach to win an NBA championship?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's so hard to say because I feel like he really ramped up the team, but I'm like, no, it was Coach LeBron.
It's so easy for point guards to get coaching jobs. No center has an easy time. Patrick Ewing is like coaching in the D League.
Right.
Bill Laimbeer is coaching the WNBA, which is a good job now.
Has he won a championship there?
I don't think he has, but he has some good hairstyles going.
There you go.
He's wearing it back with the soccer headband. It looks good.
I wish Ty Lue would have coached with his cornrows. That would have been a solid play.
Yeah, there's not that we would remember him differently if he coached with cornrows.
Absolutely.
So have you been throwing down on the NBA?
I have been. I feel like I go through these periods where I bet very degenerately, and then I add the two-factor thing to my login, so then I just don't log in as much and I bet less. But when the bubble came back, I definitely took that two-factor password protection off. I'm going in there quite frequently.
And this is where it's at, actually. Like the NBA, it's very hard to bet points with the NBA season. It all comes down to who makes free throws during the last 10 minutes. And the second round, that's where the NBA story is told in my book.
Yeah, you kind of get the feel for what every team's doing. You know their flaws, how they're going to play. I still don't know what I'm doing, but it's fun. I watch the games at least, and I feel like it's worth betting a little bit of money to enjoy that 3 hours, more. I'm paying for essentially a movie, you know?
Yeah, exactly. And that's why I'll go to the casino. You can crap out at the blackjack table immediately. Craps, maybe you can hang around it a little bit, but you bet on a game, more often than not, you're good for 3 hours in a pretty comfy chair.
Exactly. And I love betting the over, especially because then it's I don't care. I just want to see buckets.
Points
on buckets, dude.
I get it. So I was lucky for this. Game by game action, not so much, but I did some series bets, and we'll check in with them now. First one, I got to brag here.
Oh boy.
I got to brag. Brian, I'm going to be a little braggadocious. I don't know if this is a sin for you, but I did bet Miami to win the series before the series.
You put money down on it.
I put money down. I put $30.
Okay.
I won $85. And like, gambling's so stupid because like that $85 feels, it's the best any money's ever felt for me. Like, it's kind of like how when you get money from stand-up, it feels better than any other money.
Yeah, in the same way, it's like if I go to a game, I'll $30, but spend $60 on drinks there. And it's
You win. You win. That's a win.
Yeah, same with stand-up. Like I'll spend $30 on Uber there and get paid 2 drinks, and it's like I guess it evens out.
Yeah, I get paid to do comedy. Mom, I'm a professional. What'd you make this year? Well, I'm down $7,000.
I got a lot of free tickets.
Yeah, and you're in for the love of the game, right? That's the tagline.
That's
You're
ultimately what it's
in
about.
the love of the game.
Yeah, be it betting, be it doing shows at Halyards, the house that Dan Yang built.
I'm one of the co-founders, I guess.
He was about to say founder. He's like, I
Yeah,
founded
was
that shit.
I'm just a guy, dude. I'm just a guy that goes around, does shows with there's a weight bench over here. I love that.
Yeah. I mean, we wanted you to put on a few pounds, actually. We play in the same basketball game, so we're going to make you be a power forward.
Sure, I'm trying to bulk up a little, get that PJ Tucker body.
No one wants that PJ Tucker body.
Everyone wants that PJ Tucker body.
What? He looks angry all the time because he has that PJ Tucker body. Though.
No. It's so good to see a player in the NBA with my dimensions. 6'5", 220. He's sturdy.
Yeah.
I feel like you're selling yourself short. I feel like he's got a real Wario body.
I'll get there soon. But, he's probably just playing. He's moving badly because he wears a different pair of sneakers every day and he doesn't want to scuff them up.
True. I got a question on your Heat bet and your Bucks bet. Because you bet, sounds like a lot on the Bucks and then very little on the Heat. Do you have units that you work with, or do you just go off the dome?
Well, no, my units are 25, 50, 100.
Okay.
Regular game, $25. If I'm really feeling it and I'm up, maybe 50, and then 100 is lock of the century. Like Vanderbilt in their first game this year, go against Vanderbilt. I can't say how I have that information, but that's the information. What are your units?
I go by units, just little baby units, but enough to keep my interest. And I feel like I always try to do a thing where I'll watch the first quarter, and if Houston the first round is missing a bunch of open threes, but they're getting the looks, I'm just going to slam that. And then don't do what I just said, because I don't always win, but it's fun to think that you're beating the system.
Yeah, I had a model that I wrote up before this season, and I was like, if you watch a live game, you can get plus money on both sides of the action. And if you look at the math, it works. But if you get in the moment and you have to pull the trigger, I can never do that. It's like putting down your dog. You just can't.
I had that period when I was my last job where I was just sitting there pretending to look at spreadsheets, and I just had a spreadsheet open, try to make a model, and just lost so much money. But it gave me something to do. That's what betting's about.
Do you know Excel formulas? That's the toughest thing I don't know how to do.
Brian, you're sitting in front of 3 computers right now.
I don't know that shit though.
You can run this show and learn Excel at the same time.
Oh shit! I might do that. I got another laptop, so I might do that.
Fire up some tutorials.
Okay, so what? So Excel, YouTube. Okay, yeah, I'll just be here. You guys keep talking about units and stuff.
Yeah,
so.
but NBA second round action, I feel like the series bets are just an enjoyable way to throw down on the series. And if you're listening to this as a podcast, you probably have the conference championships down around the corner. And you can bet game by game, but you can just pick a side for the series, and then you're good for 7 games.
Something I did with the Houston OKC series was I took Houston before it started because obviously I believe in Harden. And then when it got kind of close, and then I never hate players, but especially as a Warriors fan, I really just didn't like Chris Paul. But then something about him this year, he had his full redemption arc, and I am on board the CP3 train. And when they're coming back, I was like, I don't want to root for Houston anymore. And game 7, I put down a pretty hefty OKC money line bet that canceled out my Houston series bet. Which is not smart, but I just wanted to root for CP3.
I love CP3.
And picking a side with the future, you're able to adapt to it, I thought Boston was going to win this series, but I saw Toronto down 0-2, and you know what? I see good value there. It's is Boston going to sweep this series? No, of course not. It's they're playing their reflection.
I was hoping they were going to just sweep them out.
Why?
Because Toronto are imposters.
Oh boy, we have this problematic take. You don't like the Toronto Raptors? You
Let me
like
see.
Excel, you don't love the
Let me
Raptors.
see. Van Fleet, okay? He was scoring almost 30 against the Nets that first series, right? And then he comes in, gets Boston, and you can see how timid he is. Because the defense on the Nets was kind of soft, but I want him to assert himself. Like, there's no one else on that team. It's Siakam, and Kyle's not going to shoot the lights out. But if Freddie wants to do it, go ahead and do it, Freddie. You don't score 30 and then just go, oh, I'm going to get 18. Come on, what's going on with that?
But that is what Fred does. That's what every six man in the Fred VanVleet mode does. And I think it's to be expected. Like, you're calling a dude tentative who we saw turn multiple games of the NBA Finals just last year.
Okay.
Yeah, he stuck it to the Warriors pretty good. But I don't like that his last name is Van Vliet. It feels like it should be Van Fleet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like free throws. It just goes together.
Yeah, petition to change his name to Van Fleet.
Yeah, if you're coming to Detroit, which is a heavy rumor, this playoffs for him has just been a round of win Tom Gore's money, and just do the change. I'll change my name with you. I'll drop the Owski. You'll get rid of the V. I'll get rid of my Polish heritage, and we'll make a day of it down at the circuit courts.
Ooh, that's a good court.
Is that supposed to be the Pistons' big free agent, Van Fleet?
Oh yeah.
Oh boy.
They're not get.
Wasn't J. Cole? Was he practicing with the Pistons? Something like that?
Yeah, J. Cole's practicing with us. Big Sean is designing our jerseys. What's that? Big Sean just had a great album come out.
That's true. I listened to it a couple days ago with my mom. Yep. Yep.
It's actually, I did recommend that album to my mom just because it's like old people talking about Detroit half the time.
So it's good. Everyone loves it. Yeah. It's like a documentary.
I feel like the Pistons should just be Detroit rappers. That's it'd be a more entertaining.
Ooh,
game.
Detroit Raptors? That sounds awesome.
Or Detroit rappers, but rappers. There's like Eminem on the bench, just like rhyming really complicated words.
Well, I mean,
same
if you already
zone.
have Drake like always hanging, so let's
Bring
get
him
it.
along with Fred. Yeah. And Drake did some weird bubble gifts. I know we have notes for this, but I saw that he sent every Toronto Raptor a candle before.
A candle?
He said a distinct scent too. So Stanley Johnson, one of the worst draft prospects I've ever seen,
Yes.
received a candle from Drake that was supposed to smell like a Williamsburg one-night stand.
Wait, is that for real?
Yeah.
Damn, that's kind of offensive.
So I'm a relationship guy. You're a cool dude. What does a Williamsburg one-night stand smell like?
I feel like cats are always involved.
You gotta have one.
Yeah, every single woman in Williamsburg has a cat or two. Probably some kratom or kratom.
What is that?
I think that's involved.
What is that? Is that some sort of incense type of thing?
Brian, how old are you again?
I'm 35.
I like how long you think. I'm 32, so I have to learn about this secondhand.
After you hit 34, it's all.
Yeah,
And
I'm
that's why I'm not hitting 34. Tomorrow, it's my birthday, but I'm not celebrating it. I should be turning 34. Instead, I'm going backwards.
Dude.
31.
I'm gonna get you some kratom. You're gonna celebrate with some kratom, and we get you a cat.
Yeah, we'll smell a cat, we'll drink some kratom, and I'll turn 31. In my defense, and this is real, this is not a bit, I feel like I drink enough water and no one does, and that counts for 3 years.
That's a thing where, like, as a 32-year-old now, you saying you drink a lot of water makes me think, like, damn, that's impressive. I should copy what he's doing. Like, it's a new idea.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I mean, you saw how I recovered from that concussion, so here we are.
Have you guys talked about this on the...
No, this is our first episode.
Joel took one of the loudest, scariest sounding falls in my life and just bounces back up.
Like bounced his head. So his head went and hit the concrete.
Yeah, it was
correct?
like in Mario when he's stomping a Goomba and he just flattens in a little bit when he pops back up.
Yeah, and my first reaction was like, hey, man, you got to be nice to me now.
That was
We're friends.
So, I don't know if I actually haven't
Yeah,
talked to you since then. The rest of the game, because we were guarding each other, me and that guy, and like he seemed very shook up about it. He's like, "Oh man, I almost like want to go home." And I feel like the rest of the game, even though I'm trying to like play against him, I'm comforting him like, "No, dude, it's fine. Like it was a mistake. You're good, dude. Don't worry about it."
Yeah, he texted me and we're cool, but I made it weird. I am like a basketball historian, so I read a book, The Breaks of the Game by David Halberstam, best basketball book ever ever written, and it's about Rudy Tomjanovich getting punched by Kermit Washington and how it led to a good relationship between them. And I asked this kid, "What's your address?" And then it got real weird.
You asked him for his address?
Yeah, I was like, "Hey man, can I send you a book?"
Thank
Wait.
you.
This is real?
Yeah, this is real. I tried to send him a book, and he didn't respond to that. And I feel like I gotta reach out to the guy who concussed me and have him think I'm cool.
I feel like for the audience, they have to understand we're playing a pickup game, and there was just an errant play. Bodies collided, and then this other guy kind of shoved Joel, and Joel's off balance, took a pretty hefty fall, and now he's sending him literature.
Yeah, and I feel like just that dialogue is like, man, this guy must be Christian as hell.
No, he's probably thinking that fall made you Christian as hell. That's what happened.
It's like, oh, the Lord. I got
The Lord's
baptized.
got me.
I got baptized by Bed-Stuy Concrete.
Well, you're saying Rudy T. That is one of my favorite coaches when he was with the Rockets. It was just, those teams, Akeem, Clyde, so good.
Yeah, Brian just analyzes sports like he's eating a spicy pizza.
Hit me, baby. Hit
Otis
me.
Thorpe, the double cheese.
Otis Thorpe.
He's the guy who became the Darko pick, so props to him. These lines, like, a lot of times you have a plan and you can't stick to it and you have to adapt. Like, my big play for the whole season was like, I'm going to bet the Clippers and the Lakers in round 2. I'm going to parlay them, and then I'm going to throw the winnings on the Clippers. And then that happens. As soon as the Lakers got to the second round, Vegas, like, they shifted the lines from around -400 to -1,200.
Yeah, which is insane.
Yeah, that's like Bucks money line prices.
Who would do that?
Yeah, so I went the other way. I put $25 on the Rockets to win the series just because, like, I can't help it. I like James Harden. I like Russell Westbrook, and it's probably the thing I like the least about myself.
I feel like it's hard to hate those two guys. Like, they just... Well, one tries so hard and isn't very good at basketball, and the other's so good at basketball and seems to not try that hard, and it's like the perfect combination.
Yeah, and it's like these guys kind of changed the way that guards can play in the Steph Curry-dominated era, and, like, if history breaks down the way it is, they're going to be regarded as punchlines.
Well, what do you feel like? I don't think they could work together like for multiple years. I don't think that play will work for both of them. I think it puts on more mileage for them down the road.
And, I think they had the right guy there, and you saw him with his Looper crew. Like, SGA has learned everything from Chris Paul, which is why he was fucking terrible in Game 7. I haven't hated a game. Like, I was just watching with my friends. I was bitching about that. He didn't go to the hoop once.
Yeah.
And coming from a Warriors fan, the Rockets should have won that series. Like, they absolutely should have won that series and won a championship.
Yes.
And,
How many? Like, it was like 16 threes they missed. Like
27
27?
threes in a row over the second half of that game. No one went to the court. No one went to the hole. And, like, Chris Paul is, like, the right guy for that kind of atmosphere. They also beat him again when Chris Paul got hurt.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it sucks to like the Warriors. I can't help it. But I have fallen in love with the Miami Heat.
They're so lovable. There's nothing to, like, dislike about the team. Jimmy's great. I like that they have, like, one of every kind of white guy.
Yes.
They have, like,
they have the best white
Yeah.
guys.
Well, they got, like, the dorky one in Duncan Robinson. They got the one that, like, thinks he's black.
I can do a
And
Duncan
then they have the
Rob.
European one. They got it all.
That's how you do it.
And they got Kelly Olynyk, who's just like the weird one.
you gotta have the weird one.
You got the white guy who thinks he's black. You got the white guy from Canada. You got the European. Then you have the one who gives you mushrooms. He played at Gonzaga, right?
I think so. Yeah.
I'm just guessing by the hair
I think it was
tie.
him and, like, Robert Sacre were those like the dueling towers at that time.
But their team is just so stacked. Like their bench is great, and Dragic is just one of the best, and he gets no fanfare at all.
But it's also about the health of an organization, and I think back to the Rockets thing, you have an owner, Tillman Fertitta, like, he's leveraged by COVID. He took out like a 15% interest loan to just get through the next 6 months.
Yeesh.
Meanwhile, the Miami Heat are just streamlined organization with, like, a style of player development that traces back to all levels of basketball history.
Oh, Bam. Bam is one of the best prospects that Patrick Riley has done. Bam.
Bam.
Bam, bam.
Bam, bam.
That's why I love him so much.
Guys, we're going to get sued by Emerald.
He's going to be, hey.
I also really appreciate Joel bringing up interest loans in an NBA discussion. That's That's some real knowledge.
Oh yeah.
Hey, I told you, I'm getting my MBA. I'm getting my master's in finance. And yes, my university did get in trouble today for having a non-POC Zoom meeting. How do you do that in 2020, guys?
And they probably recorded it too, so it's somewhere.
Yeah.
It's somewhere.
I'm surprised I didn't get the invite.
You should have.
You
should
see
have
my
Zoom bombed.
bald Aryan globe just glinting in the light here. I'm first on that list.
And I feel like the Miami Heat white guys are probably more diverse white guys than what that Zoom white guy meeting must have been.
I do like Duncan Robinson. He has the same facial expression as a Christian girl in your high school.
There are periods of time where Jimmy Butler will like get mad at him for like missing rotation.
Yes.
And you know that Jimmy's doing like he's a good guy. But
Yeah.
I'm just like, that's just Duncan Robinson, man. What do you expect?
I know. I saw it a couple days ago. He's yelling. Like you see it. It's same like LeBron when he's yelling at Kevin Love. Like just do that shit, okay? But I had to pull out the stat sheet for Bam. I was telling you, Joel. In 2019.
Is this just your own stat sheet, like lean cuisines eaten?
Yeah, that's what I got.
more old
He
Houston
loves
Rockets players.
to tweet. He has 28 tweets. No, but in 2018, 2019, in 1819, Bam was still playing basketball. But he had 65 blocks last year, and now he's up to 93.
Yeah, but he was playing behind Whiteside last year, and they were paying him so much they were obligated to pay him. And now he's the only big who can play regardless of matchup. You get Embiid, you get even Jokic, and these guys can be paced off the court occasionally.
Yeah.
Just wait till he gets a 3-point ball.
Oh, it's coming.
Ooh,
It's
spicy.
Why does every center have to get a 3-point ball? It seems
You stretch it. You gotta stretch it,
It's
baby.
worth more than two.
There you go, John Madden, right there.
It's like that Antoine Walker quote when they asked him, why do you shoot so many threes? And he goes, because there's no fours.
Such an Antoine Walker
Dude,
thing to
buckets.
say.
I just like how Antoine Walker had that shoe commercial. He's like, I could play barefoot if they let me. That doesn't sell shoes, bro, which is why he's bankrupt. Don't try and gamble with Michael Jordan unless you're a fellow shareholder in DraftKings.
Yeah, isn't he? He's opened up a book, what, in Chicago? Or the DraftKings is now, they're doing one like across the street from the Cubs. Like a draft book. Like,
really?
And that's a great place to put a sports book. No one is drunker than a Cubs fan.
That is so much money that they're going to just take from drunk people. Like, here, $10 on Derrick Rose. And they're like, he's not even on the team anymore. And he's like, okay, I'll take it.
Oh, yeah. I'll put down, like, the other day I was, like, getting dinner with my girl, and I was missing part of the Laker game. And I rushed home to catch the last quarter. And I was so excited to be watching. I instantly put down a huge, like, over bet that just went to shit. But I was just, like, so caught up in the hype. I was like, I got to do this.
Yeah. You
Yeah,
get
but
juiced.
You play with Bitcoin, right?
That's true. I'm gambling with a thing that I'm gambling on. It's like double. Is that double jeopardy?
Yeah, double trouble. That's double trouble right there.
Yeah, you're just maximizing your gains. And, let's touch on, Richard Jefferson got a lot of shit this week for saying that Giannis was better suited as a Scottie Pippen. And, I think he was right.
When I saw that quote, I was kind of like, yeah, it sounds outrageous when we think about it. And there's nothing to prove it.
But you see Giannis's play, and it's like you're not going to take over anything. Like you're gonna put your body, you're gonna get some good plays, but to crunch time, I don't want it in your hand.
And Chris Middleton, I know he's their number 2, but you saw when Giannis went out, in isolation, he's hitting shots with people all over him. That's kind of a number 1. If you just use Giannis to create space with his athleticism, maybe that's a better way to use him. Just keep it as it is, swap it for the last 5 minutes.
Yeah, but that's a hard sell for Giannis to be like, okay, I'm second fiddle when everyone's telling me I'm the next LeBron.
But that's easy to do because English isn't his first language. So you just pull it out. That works this year, maybe not next year.
Probably not next year, no.
He does feel like just Giganto Westbrook in some ways.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
And it's the same things. It's great until the last 5 minutes of a playoff game. Then it gets inexplicable and weird.
And when you're talking about the Heat, how they're such a lovable, well-constructed team, I feel like the Bucks almost feel the opposite, where it's like, I don't love. There's nothing to love about this team. I don't like watching this team really.
Well, that's the problem with the Bucks. They're trying to steal playoff models from all different teams. Like they're still on like the Cavs model, getting shooters, just like let's get Kyle Korver. Let's remove Matthew Dellavedova because he doesn't do his thing, but he balls. Like if you in crunch time, I'm giving the ball to Matthew Dellavedova.
Spoken like a Cavaliers fan who lived through 2016. In crunch time, you're sending the ball to Australia.
That or Eric Snow. Let's go.
Worst player to ever get his own signature shoe, Matthew Dellavedova. Google his TV commercial. It's fantastic, and it only aired in Australia. But I think you're right, Brian. Like, the Bucks aren't a very well-run team, but I think that's true of a lot of these playoff teams, like Bucks, Lakers, Rockets, Clippers. None of these are really, like, finished products. The talent level's there, but they've been, like the Clippers in particular, they didn't use the season at all. They're still figuring out their rotation in meaningful games.
Yeah. They feel like a really good pickup team where they have so much talent, it almost doesn't matter what they do.
And also, like, they're white boys. Not the best white boys.
Who are? I don't even. Can't.
DiVincenzo?
Well, we can't tell with Dante DiVincenzo. There's a lot going on there. I think it's bold to assume his ethnicity in 2020.
Right. I think we need to do a 23andMe for that guy.
It was funny watching him and Hero guard each other because I'm like, I feel like you guys smoke blunts together. You guys look
in
like
college and sophomore year.
You're in the same frat.
And I hate that because my fiance has kissed Pat Connaughton. And
Pat?
What a dream.
Wow.
She grew up with Pat, and she
he's
has
a stud.
She has a diehard crush on Kelly Olynyk. Closeout game, Kelly.
Okay. All
so
right.
I don't know how the two types align either.
So you got the weirdo white, and then the hunk guy.
Am I the hunk?
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah. When you said she was into Kelly Olynyk, I was like, oh, that would make sense how you guys ended up.
And I gotta say, the 2020 Miami Heat are one of my favorite Detroit Pistons teams of all time. They've got the character of the 2004, the 1989 teams, and the Clippers. They have the character of like the 2005, 2006 Piston teams where we just turn it on and lose the game.
I miss me some Rip Hamilton though. Rip Hamilton versus the Cavs when LeBron was coming through. Loved it.
Some Tayshaun Prince.
I love me some Tayshaun.
As a very skinny kid, and I saw this other skinny guy. I'm like, dude, we can do it.
I attended Tayshaun Prince's wedding.
Shut up.
Yeah. I was 17. I was living in Detroit. They just won the title. And I got tipped off that where his wedding was going to be.
Yeah.
And I just snuck in and I attended, shook his hand, and ate about 40 cookies.
So you were the first wedding crasher, pretty much.
The movie was out around that time, but like I wasn't trying to get with anyone other than Tayshaun. I was like, man, thanks for blocking that shot.
Yeah. That's cool though.
So I've had a lot of fun. Before we get you out of here, who's your finals matchup and who's your winner?
Man, I feel like my brain says Clippers. I got money on them. Even though especially after that Mavericks series, they're so unlikable. And then
What? No, that was very likable performance.
I'm Team Luka, man.
I didn't like what was it, Morris? I did not like how he was messing around a little bit too much.
He's got to be more of a Markieff. Less of a Marcus, more of a Markieff.
Yeah.
You know?
They switch every year. I'm convinced that they are the opposites right now because Marcus is the one who kind of plays in isolation and shoots too much. Markieff is the grinder.
He is the grinder.
So I don't know. I think Marcus is on the Lakers right now. I swear to God.
What is that Lindsay Lohan movie where there are two people?
Freaky Friday?
Freaky Friday.
Is that how that movie works?
Yeah, Lindsay Lohan, she's in a movie. She's playing both Morris brothers. The Wayans are producing it. It's their sequel to White Chicks.
Love it. Can't wait. I'm signing up. I want to be there.
I feel like Clips and then East. I don't know. I feel like my brain says Celtics. I think Celtics are still too talented, but my heart says Heat.
Okay.
And I think Clips take it all.
Yeah.
I think you're right. I am with you. And I will say, just for funsies, we're talking about value with series bet. We're talking about how these teams are well run. Maybe you just bet on whatever Eastern team it is. It'll probably be over plus 200 odds. And, that's an enjoyable 5 games. What? You're going to just bet the Clippers by 7.5 each game? That's not a good time. Waiting out a point spread on an NBA game, it stinks. Take a series price, take a flyer on the underdog. And if history prevails, this is one of those years that a well-run, efficiently managed franchise could come out on top.
Yeah.
Or I guess I'll leave on this. The best betting tip I've ever gotten and executed is just finding friends that want to bet with you man to man that don't understand odds, and just take the favorite every time, and you're going to win more than not.
Interesting.
So I had a bet with a friend on Heat Bucks, and I just took the Bucks because they wanted Heat to win, but they didn't understand odds. So we took 50-50.
Just take people's money.
They won, but it was I could set this up.
Right.
Yeah, you're the pool shark. You got to get him down the line. Be like, I don't know, Clippers, Celtics. Let's put $1,000 on. I'll take the Clippers, I guess.
Abuse your friend's trust. That's the only way to win in betting. That's really all it is.
That's why we're here. Brian, give me your social security number.
Okay, 29. No.
And Dan, what's your Twitter handle?
Real Dan Yang.
Dan is my favorite Twitter. He's got all these Garfield jokes. He's got the chicken hole. A lot of good stuff.
Come check out the chicken hole. Come down to my Twitter.
Yeah, and go there. And then if you're in New York when the stand-up is back, he's at Halyards all the time. He's all over the city. It's a good show.
Yeah, that's where we are.
So thanks to Dan Yang for stopping by.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks, Dan.
I'll shake. We shaking?
All right, we've played ball. And
I feel like everyone in this basement has the same Corona right now anyway, so we're good.
It's the same flavor.
The only Corona in the comedy industry is Carmen Christopher right now. I got a question. Brian.
Yeah.
Are you in New Jersey?
Am I in New Jersey?
Are you in Indiana?
No.
What about Iowa?
No.
But if you are, it's time to try the PointsBet Sportsbook. PointsBet is the most player-friendly sportsbook out there right now. First of all, have you ever heard of a sportsbook that refunds bad beats?
No.
PointsBet does it. They have their own karma committee, 2Ks, that erases bad beat losses. Just ask anyone who bet on the Saints at PointsBet in the 2018 NFC Championship game, or anyone who picked Mitch Trubisky to be the MVP last year. That's wild.
Oh, no.
They got a refund at PointsBet. So this NFL season, like NFL Make It Rain, you get an extra $6 for every touchdown your team scores, win or lose on select NFL games. Plus, get this. All you have to do is use code BONUSPROPS, and you'll get 4 risk-free bets totaling up to $1,000 with your first deposit. And to get more exclusive PointsBet bonuses, please go to thepropsnetwork.com. Remember, it's 21 plus to bet online. And if you or someone you know have a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER today. So we are here, and the NFL season kicks off tomorrow. And there's someone outside, by the way, if we can let her in. And, I'm not as prepared for the season as I would like to be. I don't know if you are either. So I feel like I should have someone qualified on, and we're going to tell you the one thing you need to know.
One thing?
About every NFL team.
Great. Love it.
So this guy, if I were to bet on a comedian to just have an amazing career, since Donnie quit, I would probably take this guy. He would be my pick to be in the Weekend Update desk someday. Please welcome, from the great city of Chicago, Ethan S.P.
Hey, yeah. Oh, thank you. Donnie quit?
Nah, he's just going to grad school, but he's working too hard. Nashville ain't going for it.
Yeah.
And if I'm putting money down, I'm not going to bet on the guy living with his parents.
Sure, but that would be a hell of a story.
Yeah.
Especially with the stutter. So
Hey, the stutter's what's going to make it.
That's true.
You need something to stand out, and he looks about 12 years old, and you need it.
that's great. Yeah.
But
Shout out to Donnie.
Shout out to Donnie. I know you're watching at home with your mom and dad. I think that's great. So football season kind of crept up on you?
Sure. Yeah, it came up pretty quick. I feel like the first game is Thursday.
Tomorrow.
Yeah,
Thursday.
That's crazy. That's gonna be a great one. It's Texans versus
The Chiefs.
Wow. I'm excited. I'm excited for it. Yeah, I've been stalking all of Pat Mahomes' GQ articles. He's been wearing a lot of APs and a lot of stuff like that. He finally said Black Lives Matter, which I was hoping he would as a biracial child.
Well, he didn't say
Well, the NFL clearly was nervous about him being the face of the NFL,
Right?
Because he is biracial. But they weren't sure how far he was going to go with Black Lives Matter. And then he finally said it, and they were like, "Oh, well, yeah, of course, Black Lives Matter." You know, and then it was like, "Oh, okay, now we have the NFL by the stranglehold because he is the face of the NFL."
Right. And let's while we're having this conversation, let's shout out the guy who put it all together. Michael Thomas is the dude who booked everyone for that video.
Sure. Yeah.
He's the one who got Pat on board. He got Zeke on board,
it was a phenomenal job by Michael Thomas.
Michael Thomas did that all. That's incredible.
Yeah, I mean, you got to do something if you're playing next to Drew Brees.
Yeah. Makes sense. Makes a lot of sense, yeah.
Yeah, you're playing next to him for so long, you get like white guilt by association. That's the kind of white Drew Brees is.
He still seems confused as what is going on, but
I honestly couldn't believe that he didn't understand what he said.
I believe it. I believe it. 100%. Where did he go to Purdue? And then, he was in Indianapolis his entire life, and then he goes to the New Orleans Saints, and he's a white quarterback who's 6 feet, who has probably changed the NFL for the better. So
the guy who disowned his mom for coming out as a Democrat. Yeah, I think you know what it meant.
Yeah.
We are gonna get
shout out Drew Brees.
Shout out Drew Brees. He was definitely the third best quarterback on that roster last year. And put in Jameis, huh?
Yeah. I love Jameis Winston.
I hope he gets a shot again.
I think we will. We're gonna get into it. So, Brian, you're putting on your moderator hat.
Yes.
We're gonna go rapid fire through all 32.
Let's do it. I'm ready.
All right. So, Brian,
you got the AFC East, right? You doing that?
Yeah, before we go, let's just add there's an extra wild card in each conference.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Okay. So we're starting with the AFC East here, and we're going to go with the Bills.
Dang, what a roster. Amazing assembly of talent, both sides of the ball. Love their new receiver, Stephon Diggs. They've got the best corner in the game, probably. Quarterback can't throw.
This is all true. I like their defense, and I think that conference is particularly weak, so I'm taking the Bills to win it.
Yeah, I mean, they just remind me of a team you probably rooted for fairly recently. Who got a lot of hype, and they're like, our quarterback can run. Can he throw? No, but he can run. We got all these plays. He doesn't need to throw.
That's true. Yeah, I mean, it makes me like him even more now that you brought up that comparison. But yeah, I think he's gonna run his way to the AFC Championship.
Oh wow,
maybe
that'll be your bet. And I will say, I said there were 3.5 wall panels that were gonna fall off. We do have literally 3.5 wall panels that have fallen off.
I like the half. The half was a good call.
Yeah, dang. Yeah, listen to me.
Okay, so let's go. We have the Bills now. Let's go to the Dolphins. Dolphins are on the clock.
Culture matters. People love playing for Brian Flores. I would not be surprised to see them do an unexpected run to a playoff spot. Skill positions aren't there, but it seems like the defense is just going to die for that dude.
Yeah,
I would definitely be surprised to see them in the playoffs. The Dolphins, I don't believe it. I mean, you traded away your whole team for this draft, and I don't think they got what they were looking for in the draft this year. But
yeah, all the rookie quarterbacks sound terrible. Right?
Yeah. I love that they got they went and got Tua, but it doesn't seem like he's going to be enough to get them to the playoffs if he even does play us.
Yeah, I think the big thing is their running back position. I mean, you got Devontae Parker, but then who else?
Exactly.
You know, I like Mike Gesicki. Mike Gesicki is my.
Well, they got my
Penn
dude.
State.
Yeah,
they got my dude. I love Jordan Howard. You just have a simple guy going downhill for 4 yards. That sets up your whole team for success. So I think there is probably good team building. Like I know the roster's in there, but I think it's possible that Brian Flores is just an awesome coach.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes they say defense wins championship. You might just get there. You might just be good enough.
And we're saying the AFC's bad, and like I think a lot of the AFC big dogs are like overhyped and stuff like that.
Oh, overhyped.
No.
4.5. Is that it's 4 panels, everyone. We have 4 panels down.
I built the studio. I'm a set builder for a living. How about that?
And also, we're talking about, let's move to the Jets.
They need help immediately. Their early picks, Mekhi Becton, Denzel Mims, they're going to take so long to develop. They might get there someday, but I think they're kind of screwed this year. The cupboard looks very empty to me.
Yeah, a 6'7", 300-plus pounder that runs a 5'10", 40-yard dash. You knew they were taking him. You knew the Jets were taking him. I don't think he translates well to the NFL his first year, but maybe he pans into something like you said.
Yeah.
The wide receiver, Mims, I don't see him doing much either. But you can never count the Jets out, right?
And it screws them because Darnold's been so behind the eight ball his entire career.
True.
And, like, how do you evaluate that guy if he's never been in a position to succeed?
That's true. I mean, what was that game where he had like 4 interceptions against the Pats, and they said that he had the yips? And
He said he saw ghosts on the
yeah,
field.
yeah. And he like was never gonna come back from that. I mean, it's definitely not gonna be a friendly season for him in New Rutherford.
Hey, it'll go better than last year.
Yeah, I would hope so. I would hope that conference is probably gonna be the most insane conference, so that I could see them easily winning like 8 games.
Mm-hmm. I think so too. Fuck. All right. Ooh. The end of the AFC East here. The Patriots.
I can't wait to see what offense they play. They don't care about scheme at all in New England. McDaniels and Belichick, I said this on this pod last time, but they've been getting plays together for this type of quarterback since Randall Cunningham was playing.
For sure. Yeah, I just want to see Cam dance and make Bill Belichick smile. That's like my big thing. I don't care if they win. I just want to see him try to make Bill Belichick smile.
If they have one moment together this year, like the city of Boston will be healed.
It's gonna be great for that whole region just to have a black, big, 6'5", huge smiling quarterback playing in Boston. I love to see it.
And if he's undeniable, like playing great, that's like the perfect mix for what we like black quarterbacks need. It's like, oh yeah, we don't need Tom Brady. Okay,
Right.
we can be the Teddy Bridgewater will jump off. Like you'll see more of that activity. Like, okay, we can look for a more athletic quarterback. That's okay.
Yeah, and I think Cam always has been kind of a lightning rod for the worst possible football fans, and this is an antidote to it. Like nothing could have more of a positive impact on his legacy than winning one with Bill.
Yeah. More bow ties and bigger hats, baby.
AFC North?
AFC North. Oh, who did you put at the top, Joel? We got the Cleveland Browns.
These aren't ranked. These are just.
Damn it.
I love the Stefanski hire. Freddie Kitchens was maybe the worst coach I've ever seen.
Yes, that is
and
true.
if they just run that Stefanski offense where they just go through Chubb and Hunt, I think they can win 10 games. Is that crazy?
I think that's correct. I think you're there.
Do they have linebackers?
They're decent at the linebackers.
Yeah, we're pretty
we got some
decent.
solid-
We had
that one dude from Wisconsin.
we had Mac Wilson go down in camp, so he's gonna be back. Then we picked up like Sean Phillips or something like that. One from the Seattle Super Bowl. We picked him up. B.J. Goodson. Sione Takitaki. So like there's young players there, but that's going to be the big question mark.
Our secondary is gonna get picked apart.
That's
but,
yeah.
But isn't Denzel Ward, like, he got clowned on for being the 4th pick? He's had an amazing start to his career.
No, Denzel's good. That's the other side. You have the other side of the field with Greedy Williams. He always gets banged up, and then last year Denzel was out for like 4 to 6 games, and it's hard to have a stable of decent DBs to do the job.
Especially in the AFC North, that's a physical division.
Ryan, that's so physical of a division. Ryan Shazier just retired today.
Yeah. They were hoping he was come back. Pittsburgh was like, we've seen worse. Just wants to see him walk with his kids. That's all I want for Ryan Shazier.
Yeah, for sure. Let's go to the Baltimore Ravens.
They could win the Super Bowl. I feel like teams that don't get there the first year get there the second year. They're my pick. Done.
Yeah. I mean, they killed the draft defensively as they always do, and they're gonna play for the Super Bowl, I think, this year.
Yeah, and it's just like you can be unique enough where your style becomes an asset. We saw that with Golden State shooting threes 5 years ago in the NBA. They're the only running team.
Yeah, I mean, and they drafted, I think, another running back.
J.K. Dobbins.
J.K.
He's
Dobbins.
awesome.
Which is super physical, and that team was already crazy physical. So, they're going to wear a lot of people down in the NFL.
Yeah, I hate that that we have to go against J.K. Dobbins a lot because I think he's going to ball. It's going to be scary how good he's going to be.
It's crazy.
Yeah, and like he's the only rookie that had positive news come out of training camps. Every camp is like, oh, this rookie's struggling. Baltimore, it's like, oh, J.K. is getting the ball and he's getting it early.
It's like, sorry, Mark.
How many times do you think I'll say J.K. Simmons or Rowling this year?
Don't go Rowling too much. Don't go J.K.
I
Rowling
love
too
Harry
much.
Potter. I can't turn her off because of the tweets.
I thought the tweets were great. I thought she made some good points.
Oh, okay. Then we have the Steelers.
Ben is probably the worst candidate to come back from a devastating injury I could think of. He's old, he's fat, and nothing about his playing style or frame makes me think he'll stay effective into the twilight of his career.
But what about his religion?
Motorcycles?
His full religion doesn't give you any hope. I agree that his comeback doesn't seem prime for this year. They have a amazing team around him, which I feel bad for. But
Yeah, but you just look at a guy, like the way he carries himself. He's 38. He's 6'6". He's 250 pounds. This is not a Brady situation where he's drinking 43 glasses of water a day. He's drinking 43 glasses of ketchup a day. He's not working out.
That's some good ketchup. I'm really excited too for that rookie Chase Claypool from Notre Dame.
yeah, he looks
looks
good.
yeah.
He looks really good.
How did Notre Dame not do better last year? They had so many guys go early. Like
They never know how to play well together as a team, and I feel like their coach is probably one of the worst coaches in the college football league right now.
What? Brian Kelly still?
Brian Kelly is not a good coach.
Hey, you win at Cincinnati, you can win anywhere.
That's what I don't understand about college coaches. Like, okay, you put 2 programs back on the map, and then it's like, okay, you're ready for the big one.
Right,
like,
right.
no.
Yeah.
You didn't do anything.
You can't slide into Notre Dame doing what he's doing.
Yeah.
But, they never had a good quarterback either. So
Whoa. Okay, we have the Bengals.
I love them.
Oh, man.
They're going to be such.
You ready for Joe?
I'm ready for Joe. I like them. They have the longest odds of any team to make the playoffs, and like plus 650. I'll put $10 on the Bengals to make the playoffs. My fiance's here. Can I have $10 to put on the Bengals to make the postseason? I cannot. Okay.
I like the Bengals. I think, that draft was really great for them. And I think Burrow's the truth. I think if anybody's going to be the truth out of this draft, it's definitely going to be Joe Burrow. Also, Cincinnati needs it. They really do.
Cincy's needed. And I think with how LSU ran their offense, it's a pro offense.
Yeah.
It is straight up. He should come in, plug and play pretty easily.
Yeah. They got a wide receiver, too, I think. Yeah.
Well, they've had wide receivers. They have Boyd. They've got AJ
Green. They got somebody to pair with AJ, who I think is Oklahoma maybe. But they're looking good. I'm just hope Joe's ready to throw the ball.
Yeah, it's so hard to establish, evaluate this year's wide receiver class because it's the best receiver class ever. And even my Lions, they picked Quintez Cephas in the 5th round. Yeah. That's a top 2 round down. That dude's good.
Yeah. Ooh, T. Higgins.
They
got
got
Clemson,
T. Higgins,
baby.
Yeah.
So T. Higgins is ready to run. So I'm hoping Joe's ready to throw. It's gonna be a fun year for them.
Oh yeah. Moving on to the AFC South. Let's go for the Colts.
They picked the wrong quarterback. Phil Rivers looked horrible last year. I'm not backing any quarterbacks in their 40s this year. Is that crazy? That's how I feel. If they went after Stafford in the trade market, they could probably be a Super Bowl team. Instead, I think they're probably going 6-10 unless they start Jacoby.
I agree. I don't like Philip Rivers. He's a baby making genius though. I mean, he makes a lot of children, but he doesn't make a lot of noise in the playoffs. But I do like that defense that Indy has.
Oh yeah,
that defense is really tough. I could see them getting to 8 games.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this: your life is on the line.
Sure.
You have to back one person in a must-win game. Phil Rivers or Russell Westbrook? Who do you take?
I think I'm taking Russell on.
Well, okay. You'll be up big in the last 5 minutes. It gets rough for you.
What I really liked about the Colts was that trade they did for DeForest Buckner.
Yeah.
That he's going to be. They're going to. He's the next Dwight Freeney for the Colts.
For sure.
And Darius Leonard, he's one of the best. And if he stays healthy, if those two stay healthy, they might inch in.
Yeah.
And I mean, if you were to just disqualify Mahomes and ask me who's the best player in the NFL, I might say Quentin Nelson. He's that good at what he does. He's incredible.
Right. Yeah.
Guys, follow Brandon Thorne on Twitter. He breaks down offensive line play. You can do it when you should be doing your grad school. It's what's up. Jaguars, this division sucks. They may be surprisingly competent just because everyone's on board. I don't know. I don't want to think meaningfully about this team.
I'm thinking they sell the Jacksonville Jaguars to a whole nother city. San Antonio, get ready for your for your new Jaguar team. I don't understand what's going on in Jacksonville. I don't know what they're trying to do. I don't know if they're building for the future or just trying to sell the entire
It doesn't
squad.
make any sense.
Yeah.
It doesn't make any sense.
They want Trevor Lawrence. Everyone loves Remember the Titans. They want their own sunshine down there.
I guess so. If that's they're thinking very far ahead if that's what they're trying to do.
Well, you're
Yeah.
thinking San Antonio, and like Shad Khan lives on a boat. San Antonio, you can't park a yacht anywhere in that town.
But the riverboat is like the place to be down there. I mean, maybe he trades it in for a little riverboat and have fun down there. I don't know. I do not see that franchise being in Jacksonville much longer.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, they've always wanted to play in London. So like, but now with COVID, they're probably like, oh, we can't do that now.
Yeah.
So
Or maybe now they're like, we should do that. Like they've got health care.
Brexit, COVID, it's looking real sketchy over there. We could probably slide in there for a little bit of money. Yeah, no, I could see that.
I did see one. They're starting an undrafted running back as James Robinson.
Yeah.
And he's not a speedster, but he looks like he's okay. But undrafted rookie as your starting guy, okay.
I mean, we'll see. We will see.
Texans, I think they'll just cruise to the division. Watson,
so?
yeah, I think Watson's one of the players who makes a big difference, and I'll just go with him over any player in this division.
Sure. They got, I mean, their wide receiver core is crazy nuts with a bunch of like 6 foot, really good route runners that are speedsters. I didn't like them getting rid of DeAndre Hopkins and not really drafting anybody to help replace him. But yeah, I mean, that Texans squad is built for the future.
Yeah, I mean, there's like maybe 5 quarterbacks who can win games on their own, and
Sure.
we've seen Watson do that shit going back to Clemson.
Sure, yeah,
like
yeah.
He's Russell Wilson 2.0.
He's
just
a winner. Yeah.
Yeah, he's amazing.
Yeah.
And the Titans, who most people are picking, I kind of hated their offseason. I thought they had an identity built around their interior linemen.
Sure.
Conklin left. They got rid of Jarrell Casey to Denver. I know they added Clowney, but I just see it kind of, if you change who they are a little bit, I think just the equilibrium falls off. If Henry doesn't have that room, then what happens?
I think we're not giving who's it, Vrabel, the head coach?
Yeah,
I think
Vrabel.
we're not giving him enough credit as how good of a coach he is. I mean, I think he's a great coach. Nobody saw that team doing what they're doing. Also, yeah, maybe Derrick Henry doesn't have enough room, but he's still Derrick Henry at the end of the day. You don't want to tackle that for 4 quarters.
And
If anyone in New York could tackle Derrick Henry, I'd like to be that guy. I thought, give me one shot. I just want this show to do well enough where I can do a pros versus Joes segment versus Derrick Henry. It's honestly my make-a-wish.
I think you could do it, and then you would have to make another wish after that. There would be no movement after.
Yeah,
you
my next wish would be for a working collarbone.
yeah.
Oh, AFC East. Let's go to the Chargers.
Yeah, everyone knows the Eastern Los Angeles Chargers. Way too snake bit. Derwin James going down screws them.
That was huge. I just found that out last night watching
Yeah.
Hard Knocks. Yeah, that's tough, man. I don't know, but I still think that secondary is pretty strong. I still think they got a good chance. They got talent all over that defense. So
Yeah.
it's gonna be.
And the Chargers always they have some juju for injuries.
Yeah.
Before the season.
Yeah.
All the time.
Some new guy always comes and proves himself.
Yeah.
It's always Chargers, Browns, Lions. Who are these training staffs? Like the same teams are always injured.
I know.
That's true.
Just please give Tyrod a chance.
You guys want Tyrod? I like the Herbert kid.
I know, he does.
He's a big goof.
When they said like, "Ooh, he spins that ball," I
yeah,
was
he's
like,
got a strong arm.
I was
Yeah,
like,
he
okay.
loves the game. I hope they start him.
I don't know. You put Tyrod with a guy who catches passes for like 5-6 yards out of the backfield. Like that's his dream. That's true. You're telling me I don't have to throw the ball over
Down the
15
field.
yards?
Yeah. No vertical passes, coach. Put me in. Yeah.
I'll forget Keenan Allen's name. I promise.
I like the Chargers though. I can see them getting that wild card in that division for sure.
And on to the Chiefs, Super Bowl champ.
This segment is the one thing you need to know about every team. Andy Reid wears his Super Bowl ring to get free hamburgers.
Bingo.
That's a winner right there, baby. That's a winner. And anybody who's trying to get deals after they win a Super Bowl, yeah, that's a winner.
Yeah, I mean, I remember growing up, it was my dad's birthday, so we went around to every restaurant getting a free birthday meal. And it wasn't until like 10 years later where I realized, oh, we're poor.
And it came out that Mahomes and Travis Kelce are like beer pong champions apparently. So
I didn't know
that
that.
chemistry continues for years and years and years. So that's gonna be great.
Yeah, when you have beer pong, that 1 and 2, it's over.
Yeah, and it's gonna be so much fun to watch them win another Super Bowl.
Yeah, easy. Next team, I love them. I've fallen in love with the Denver Broncos.
Oh, yeah.
I love Drew Lock. People treat him like he's a nobody. Dude owns every SEC record.
Yeah.
He's surrounded by weapons.
Yeah.
I know Von Miller's out, but You don't need to play defense in this division.
I mean, their defense is still going to be tough. You still got Chubb, who's nice. I mean, they got a bunch of linebackers that move well with each other. The safeties, I think, can really shore up.
And they got Casey, who's like a one-man, like, you can't run on us.
Yeah, Jarrell Casey's a really great addition to that team. And then, if Drew Lock, the chinless wonder, can...
What do you do? How does he how do you get that strap?
I don't know. That was the first thing I thought too. I was like, man, his helmet must be so loose when he's moving around. But I think he could do it. I believe in the Missouri boy.
Yeah, 180 to make the playoffs. I think with the Chargers being injured and the Raiders being awful, I think the Broncos are going to win at least 9 games.
It's going to come down to the wire. I think between them and the Chargers for sure.
Yeah. Ooh.
Raiders.
I watch a ton of Alabama. I never really fell in love with Henry Ruggs. I thought the pick was terrible. Then I saw clips of him playing basketball, and I was like, oh, this guy's an amazing athlete.
He's a really good athlete. Nobody's a good enough athlete to bring the Las Vegas Raiders any type of chance of winning.
Come on. They're good.
We talk about stable organizations. They locked up Gruden for 10 years. They've got Chucky as the owner, and they're moving $1 billion corporation across state lines. They're screwed.
Yeah, it's a wrap for the Las Vegas.
How do you sign a contract for 10 years? Yeah, I'm going to be here for 10
years after
sir.
not coaching for what, like 7 or 8, and then just doing Gruden camp on ESPN. That was what sold them on his.
Well, he's got tape. He's got tape.
Look how he breaks down his rookies.
Here's how you sign a contract for 10 years. You get offered it once. 10 years,
side of the line. Yeah.
But you have to say Mike Mayock is one of the best GMs. He knows how to find the talent.
I think he can find talent. Best GMs is tough to come by.
Okay, fine.
Yeah. But I agree. He is a good talent finder for sure.
Yeah. He had a good draft. Maybe he had another. But yeah, I appreciate the note. I love Brian. His notes are so. Be sure to talk about Mike Mayock.
Yeah, because he deserves it. Okay. NFC North. Let's go to the Lions.
Worst case scenario, they are going to rally around this offense, make the playoffs, and it'll be the worst thing that could happen to the franchise. They're going to go 9-7. They're going to get the 7th wild card, lose the first playoff game by 21 points. Then Patricia gets an extension.
I could for real see that happening. Yeah. Matt Patricia getting an extension, them like Forrest Gumping their way to the playoffs, and Matthew Stafford becoming the woke king that we all want him to be. Yeah, I mean,
my goodness,
it's gonna be a very fun season in Detroit. That's for sure. Yeah, I could see them going 9-7 as well.
Yeah, and then just an awful exit. They're going to go up against Minnesota or New Orleans and just get absolutely exposed, and we won't care. We're going to be like, oh, he got us to the playoffs, and he has the same body shape as a Michigander. Lock him up, coach for life.
Yeah.
Speaking of the Vikings, let's go to the Vikings.
Best team in the NFC. I think Mike Zimmer is going to turn all these picks into valuable assets. I like him to win Coach of the Year. I like Justin Jefferson as Rookie of the Year, and gun to my head, I think they win the NFC.
Yeah. You don't have to put the gun to your head, buddy.
No, do it. Let's live dangerous. That's gambling. That's
Gambling. That's life as a Lions fan for sure. Yeah. I mean, no, I love the Vikings team. I think I agree with you that they're going to win the NFC North. I could definitely see him getting head coach of the year. And, SEC wide receiver in the NFC North, he's going to eat for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he's taking over for those Diggs lines, but he's more of like a pure receiver than Diggs.
Sure.
Like, he's like an ideal wide receiver, too. I see Marvin Jones with that dude.
Every down. Yeah. I could see it, too.
Okay. We got, the Bears.
Chicago Bears. How many tight ends we got? Did it go up today?
You got 8. You got 8.
We got 8 now. Okay. All right. Thought we were going to go in with 11 maybe.
Brian, will you pull up how much money they're paying the tight end position?
Sure, I'll give me a second.
You don't have to do that.
Well,
do it.
2 seconds.
And are we counting Trubisky as a tight end? We know we'll play
He
that
might as
position
well
eventually.
be. He might as well be. We're going to convert everybody to tight end. Watch. We're going to change the way people play football.
You already did. They look at it like, oh, this is not football.
Let me see. Who's your? I think it's giving me breakdown for tight ends.
I think my uncle might be a tight end for Chicago.
Ooh, Demetrius Harris is making $1 million.
That's nice.
I can't find the other ones, but
Anybody else who has started on a football team that's making good? I know we drafted one from Notre Dame.
You got Trey Burton. You got the number 2
Yeah.
tight end from Notre Dame.
Yeah. We got Trey Burton. It's going to be a hell of a season in Chicago. But the White Sox are doing well in the AL Central. I'll just throw that in there.
Just throw that
Just
in
something
there.
positive happening in Chicago.
Yeah, they've got the best organist in sports. They've got the best baseball team in the Central. I went to one White Sox game, and I've seen the biggest bug I've ever seen in my life.
I'm sure. And that bug was also a tight end for the Chicago.
oh, let's go. We got the NFC East.
Thank you.
We're not missing a team?
No.
Oh, okay. All right.
No, you're there. The Washington football team.
Haskins lost 30 pounds. Terry McLaurin is my favorite young receiver.
Yes.
They may be surprisingly competent under Rivera.
Sure. I mean, we're wiping the slate clean. They're the Washington football team. That's what
That's
we're
it.
calling them
That's-
now.
that's it.
I mean, sure. Football's in the name, so they got to win some games. I guess, you know?
We got to tell you what we do.
It's a guarantee of three games there. Let's go to the Dallas Cowboys.
Taking C.D. Lamb over the reliable center Cesar Ruiz who would have replaced Travis Frederick. That was just a bad decision.
Yeah.
You don't need another receiver. You got Michael Gallup. You got Amari Cooper. Stupid. Jerry Jones.
You need the fast cars, though.
I like it. Yeah, I like it. You're a flashy team. You do flashy stuff. So, you know, you go get C.D. Lamb, you get him off the board, and you tell, we're just going to run and throw the ball. We're going to see how much you really want to be worth Dak Prescott.
Yes,
So
exactly.
Let's see what we can do.
Yeah, I give you the keys to the city.
Yeah.
Make that $600 million contract that you're going to get.
Outscore everybody you play. Let's do it.
Yeah, you make them forget you contracted COVID and spread it all over the metropolitan area.
That's all you got to do. And now, the New York Football Giants.
I see Daniel Jones becoming football's Sharif Abdur-Rahim. Puts up a lot of stats on a lot of bad teams. Never has a relevant moment, but good for the equivalent of 20 points a game. Start him in fantasy. Never put money on him in a meaningful way.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about Daniel Jones. He gets into close games and then he ends up losing them at the end. But then everybody's like, well, he performed really great and he's a really good clutch guy. And I was like, I don't see it. I don't think that offensive line is equipped to handle him
Not yet.
growing in the future either.
Yeah,
So.
because he can run a little bit.
Yeah.
So that the line breaks down very quickly.
Absolutely.
So
Yeah.
it's not going to work out too well.
Sorry, New York.
Sorry, New York. And you cut your first round QB, so DeAndre Baker. So
it's
it's going to be
At least they didn't trade up for him, you know? Our producer, Leif, is a Giants fan, and he's just, looking forward to more sound panels falling off the wall.
so sorry.
We're at 8 now.
Saquon sits most of the season. I feel like, yeah, he's very injury prone.
They're saving him for what? They're like,
Yeah.
yeah, we got to rest this guy. It's like, it's year 3. Can he play?
Yeah.
And the Philly Eagles. What we got?
QB room is Jalen Hurts and always hurts. I don't know how to feel about this team, and I swear to God, I asked an Eagles fan, how should I feel about this team? And they made fun of me for having feelings.
For sure.
Sounds very Philly.
That's super Philly. That's one of the strangest drafts next to the other team we didn't mention. But, yeah, it's it's a super strange. They went and got Jalen Hurts. I don't even know who the pick was before. Did they have a pick before that?
I think they traded their first-round pick. They traded their third-round pick to get Slay.
Yeah.
That makes sense. But I don't see them going forward in the future. I think Carson Wentz gets hurt again, and it just continues from there.
Yeah, but this division's so weird. Like, I probably think this is the worst division in the NFL.
I think so, too. I agree with you. That's why Dallas is going to run away with it. But, yeah.
Yeah, Dallas would be like 9-7 or 8-8 if they were in the West, and they're
Yeah.
going to go 12-4.
Yeah, easily. Just off of mistakes and Tony Romo commentation. Yeah, it's going to be going to be interesting. Season.
And maybe the only way the Eagles can win the division is if Mike McCarthy gets involved with Dallas. He is the Eagles' most valuable player this year.
Booze from everywhere.
That's the Eagles fans.
Oh,
Yeah, the CEO is a proud proponent of the Eagles.
So sorry.
Let's go to the NFC South.
Andrew Luck and Carson Palmer led the league in turnovers their first season playing under Bruce Arians. Brady's playing style doesn't really mesh with that of Godwin and Mike Evans. I don't see it working.
Man, I love this Tampa Bay team. I think they're equipped to take it the distance. I love everybody that they have around Brady. They went and drafted some offensive linemen just in case.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. Defense could probably hold up in the AFC South. It's going to be interesting.
They remind me of the Miami Heat when LeBron came over.
Sure.
They're just stacking
They
talent.
got a lot
of
pieces. Yeah.
Yeah.
They got a lot of pieces, but do they have an identity? Like, you're
No.
shifting the offense without shifting your personnel. Like, that's an adjustment period. And they have New Orleans, this fired up team week 1. They might find themselves in a hole quickly, and like they end up 0-2. Like, who's to say what happens?
Everybody's on that TB12 regiment down there. That's their identity.
I want to know what this TB12 regiment is.
Yeah, it's like Goop for men. It's going to be very interesting.
The New Orleans Saints. Let's keep on going.
This 2017 draft is amazing. I thought Breeze was the 3rd best QB on the roster, and it feels really dumb to expect a QB who's 6 feet tall to win Super Bowls in his 40s.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, they got a ton of talent around them on the offensive and the defensive side of the ball. I don't think Drew Brees makes it through a whole season because, yeah, he is, in AARP now. Like, it's going to be tough for him to get through that AFC South.
Yeah, it's like that team's an ensemble, but it's still treated like a Leonardo DiCaprio movie. That's
For
not
sure.
the Drew Brees
Yeah,
show
yeah,
at all. That's
not at
like Kamara, Michael Thomas,
Yeah.
and Lattimore.
Yeah.
There's amazing players. Like, is Brees a top 10 player on the Saints? I wouldn't think so.
No, I don't think so. And it was borderline disrespectful how they didn't want to pay Kamara the money that I felt like he was rightfully owed playing with an aged quarterback. So.
Yeah, but if you had contract negotiations with someone with a septum piercing, wouldn't you try and underpay him?
I think he made it cool. I think Kamara brought the septum back for all types of black people, and I think it looks sexy on him. So pay that man. Pay that man for the septum alone. Yeah.
Fair.
On to the Panthers.
I like every move they made. They made too many of them. I think they'll be good under the rule, and they have new owner David Tethfin, who figured out Wall Street. I think he can figure out the NFL, but not this year.
Yeah, no, not this year. I think that's a good caveat. A new coach, new quarterback, new owner. Like it's a lot of news in there, and it's not good. Teddy Bridgewater also has really never proven anything to me.
Yeah, and they're going to run the same offense as the Chargers.
Absolutely.
Like, Bridgewater to McCaffrey is the same thing as Tyrod to Austin Eckler.
Yeah. And again, McCaffrey's amazing, but it's too much weight on those shoulders for sure.
Yeah, one of the most successful fail sons of all time, Christian McCaffrey.
On to the Falcons.
I think this boring-ass team will be a boring-ass threat. The defense looks terrible, but I still think, like, continuity matters, and plus odds, 220 to make the playoffs, I'm all over it.
Yeah, I think Matty Ice, this is his comeback season. It was a 3-year hangover after that Super Bowl loss.
Yeah, that's about right. That's the right hangover to have.
Yeah.
And I think they find their way back into prominence. Matty Ice has just been constant throughout his
and mentally that's got to be tough on you that you're in the Super Bowl, you're about to win, and then Tom Brady just did some magic.
I mean, that shocked the world, and it's still sending shockwaves. But and then they got Gurley, so I think that might help out a little bit.
Bounce back year for Gurley.
Yeah.
For sure.
He
He's
loves
got
Atlanta. Yeah.
Yeah, you always go to your home.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah, absolutely. Get some lemon pepper wings, and just have fun down there, Todd. That's all you got to do. What is Hardee's to lemon pepper wings, So,
Can't do that.
yeah.
Is it Hardee's or Carl's Jr.? If you didn't get that reference, you're living in someplace warm.
On to the NFC East.
West. Like,
Oh,
you have
West.
the weirdest geographic dyslexia of all time. You're switching up West.
I'm sorry. I got things to run here. I'm
Yeah,
so
but
sorry.
it's written down. It says West. You look at West, you say East.
Yeah.
Hand this man a compass. We got some
Give me
experiments
some
to
Google
do.
Maps. Give me some Google Maps, please. I need that.
Yeah, I love the Cardinals. I think the defensive talent is amazing. I think the offensive talent is amazing. Hopkins did his own contract negotiation.
Crazy.
Wow.
Yeah.
I think this team's gonna get one of the wild card spots. I have them in Atlanta.
I agree. Jamal Murray is he's gonna ball out. He's gonna show why he was that first round draft pick. I think the Cardinals with their defense, those edge rushers they got, they're gonna be a problem.
Chandler Jones.
Chandler Jones is a beast. That whole family is just talented.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be fun to see.
And like, I wanted the Chargers to take Isaiah Simmons, put him next to Derwin James, and like, that guy is gonna be unleashed. He's gonna be so fun.
I think he changes the league. I mean that like ZH back thing that they're doing on
Yeah.
defense, where they have a guy who plays secondary and the linebacker position. I think Isaiah Simmons is a perfect fit for the future.
Oh yeah, he's like in Madden when you see that hybrid type
Yeah.
of character.
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
that's
You're
him.
Like, I don't even know what he does, but I just got to send him on blitzes all the time. Yeah.
An NFL blitz character.
Yeah.
On to the Niners.
Teams with great play calling and innovative offenses usually get figured out the next year. We saw it last year with the Bears and Rams. I think the Niners and Bills are going to be the same thing this year.
Sure. They remind me a lot of that Bears team that made that run to the playoffs and I think won like 12 games. Let us not forget that Bears team. But yeah,
We won't.
Which Bears team made the playoffs with no offense? Oh, all of them? Cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
Rex Grossman. That's what you gotta say.
That Bears team refers to all of them.
But yeah, I think the 49ers kind of get figured out. I think Jimmy G takes a step back this year for sure.
Yeah.
But I think that defense holds strong, but I don't think they go further than they did last year, and I don't think they make the playoffs this year.
Miss the playoffs is plus 280. I like it. Seahawks, Russell Wilson is my favorite player. There's no one I would rather bet on than Russell Wilson. He's just in it. I love him.
For sure. He's got Sierra. He's got God. He's got everything on his side.
What do you else want?
He only has Sierra because Golden Tate left town. We know how that happens. He got ran out of there.
I believe in Russell Westbrook for sure. I think DK Metcalf takes a step forward this year. I think, yeah, no matter what's going on in the offense, whatever holes are on the defense, Russell Wilson always makes up for it.
Yeah, and I think they're going to re-sign Josh Gordon. So DK Metcalf, Josh Gordon. So
Cleveland
Josh Gordon reference. Yeah.
Yeah, I think Kozar's on the practice squad. All right, Brian.
what is he?
Yeah. He's boys with Pete Carroll.
Okay, on to the Rams. Last team.
Their salary cap resembles an NBA team. They're fucked.
Yeah, man, they really just sold it all down the river for Jalen Ramsey, and I don't know, it looks messy. I've never had faith in Jared Goff. Is another one of those teams who are like very innovative on the offensive playmaking side of the ball, but Jared Goff's not the guy. I don't think anymore. You lost Gurley. You're still searching for a running back. Like it's a mess over there.
Yeah, they said they're going to do running back by committee. I'm like, okay, that doesn't sound great.
That's like how you know your team is about to lose going into the season.
Yeah,
and when
right.
anything's by committee, it's like, no, this is a league of stars. Like,
right.
There's no committee.
Yeah.
Has a committee ever accomplished anything? I don't know. Well, I think that's everything you need to know about the NFL this season. Shouts to my man, Ethan. Love this kid. And he has no social media. You can't follow him anywhere.
Leave me alone.
But, you put him on YouTube. He's got a Comedy Central set that is very good. Check that out. Give him some views. And it's much more wholesome than the title would imply.
Well, I appreciate it. I appreciate being here. This is great.
Ethan.
Thank you so much.
Brian, I'm going to do one last ad read for one of our friends. Will you prep the helmets for our picks?
Yeah. I just got to take them, right?
Yeah, just pick up the helmets. I'll go right into the camera. Then we will sign off on our first The Walk On. Next week we are going to be back with shows Monday and Wednesday. I've got some great guests. We've got Rufat Agayev's coming on. We have Donnie Sengstack will be joining us on Wednesday. And we have my fiance, Gabby Garcia. We're going to teach her how to play fantasy football. And, always check out thepropsnetwork.com for the best in online betting news. Podcasts like Jamoke Davis, 5-time Emmy winner on Just for Sport. I talk about the NBA with him every Tuesday. You only need to take the ones we're picking. You're taking all of them. And you can follow Props Network HQ for updates on all the happenings, bonus deals, and all the great content we put out. And like the Walk On podcast, we're available this week on Spotify, on iTunes, and everywhere podcasts are found. And of course, if you like this, check out my NFL season props special I did with Steve Clark. It was really good, and hopefully our picks were too. Now, we good, Bry Guy?
A little bit. I don't have all of them.
You don't have all of them. You're going to need this one.
Sweet.
You're going to need... I think we're good. These two, and we are good to go. Let me have my sad Mr. Rogers moment. Mr. Sorry, Sam. I thought that we've been entertaining up to this point. I didn't realize how hard it was to put on a jacket. Okay, beautiful. I got a hell of a torso. Hi, I'm Joel Walkowski, and I am a professional gambler. I beat my bookie the same way I beat COVID, by avoiding the spread. Okay, so the season starts tomorrow. We've got the Texans getting 10 points against the Kansas City Chiefs. I am all over the Texans. After the Super Bowl, Andy Reid visited the White House, not for political reasons. He saw how much fast food championships got to... Fuck, I'm going to do it again. Okay. Okay. I love the Texans getting 10 points against the Chiefs. After the Super Bowl, Andy Reid visited the White House, not for political reasons. He saw how much fast food championship teams got there. Pat Mahomes got a big contract extension. Now he's Pat More Homes. I love Deshaun Watson getting 10 points in a backdoor cover. Normally, I would never recommend a backdoor cover, unless you're a woman dating Odell Beckham.
Oh,
Those are my picks for the opener. Enjoy the games. Hi, here I am again, Joel Walkowski, the professional gambler. Here are my Sunday picks. We've been doing this for 5 years. This is the best tradition of Sunday programming this side of HBO. They got some good stuff. I like the Saints by 3.5 over Tampa Bay. Tom Brady is playing for the Bucs this year. But enough about his big contract. He's also playing for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Oh, I like the Bengals to win against the Los Angeles Chargers. LA is already so injured. It's ironic they're called the Chargers because they're already dead. Without Derwin James, I expect Joe Burrow to run through the Chargers D like Skyline chili through a digestive tract. Bengals all day. I like Pittsburgh getting 6 points against the New York Giants. Wow. Lots of line movement on this game. Lines haven't disappeared so rapidly like this before a Giants game since Lawrence Taylor was playing. And lastly, to our affiliates in Indianapolis and Florida, I like the Jaguars getting 8 points against the Indianapolis Colts. If you can't tell if the line is the spread on the game or the amount of kids Phil Rivers has, you take the points. Those are my picks. Enjoy the games. Happy football season. Happy life. Brian, do you have fun this week?
I had fun. I had a lot of fun. I wish I got these helmets better, but you gotta get the wrinkles out.
Hey, we had to kind of hang all these sound panels beforehand, so we had a lot of work to do.
But it was a great show.
Cool. Well, we will be back Monday and Wednesday of next week. Until then, have a great time, have a great life, and find us here at the Props Network. The Walk On, Walking Off.